what's it like in the UK right now? Because you're about to become a Muslim country, aren't you?
You're really hitting some top issues here.
Actually, it's really. I'm glad you're doing it, because the number one question everybody gets is, Joe moved to the UK. Has he just given up? What's wrong? No, everybody misses him.
Well, we do have a serious problem with Islam in the UK. In fact, we just did a conference in Canada on the weekend. Actually, we had our Ezra Conference East, and we were dealing with Islam and immigration. And actually, in the UK, our last Mission of God conference was on Islam, because 6.5% of the population of the United Kingdom now are Muslim, and in some of our cities, it's 30%, 40%, 50% of the population. They're almost becoming sort of ghettoized, totally unintegrated areas. Yeah. Sharia law courts are widespread, and basically Muslim communities trying to rule themselves in terms of Sharia, and this is with the permission of civil authority as well. Wow. So we do have a significant problem. There is pushback. Finally, there is the Reform Party in the UK is way ahead in the polls. If there was a general election next week, they would win by a landslide. Good. And there's increasing recognition of the threat of Islamic ideology, but it's late in the day, and of course there are non-Christian professors, in fact leading professors in London, like David Betts, for example, who is talking about the notion that unless something is done very, very quickly, we are on an irreversible path to civil conflict. And we are seeing we've been seeing the early signs of that for the past 18 months. And continuously more of these illegal migrants arrive on boats every day or every week. I think we're over 40,000 completely illegal arrivals, mainly young men from Islamic countries, and they're being put up in hotels, and 4-star hotels up and down the country at the taxpayers' expense, and people are absolutely furious. Yeah. So, but we do have a significant difficulty there. There's joking aside, it really is a massive issue that the church has to confront.
Is it all over? I mean, we'll stick with Britain. Is it pretty much all over Britain, or is it concentrated in some of the bigger cities?
No, it's concentrated in specific areas. I mean, if you look at, for example, Northern Ireland, I think is less than 1% Muslim. I think the US is about 1 or 1.5% Muslim. And you've got some areas that you have tiny, 0.5% or less. And then you've got specific cities mainly, where you've got large concentrations. This particular professor who studies the history of war, basically, talks about the fact that what we're heading towards, unless something is done, is a conflict between urban centers and rural and semi-rural communities. So they would be almost divided along those lines. I mean, this is the strange thing for me, as a Christian apologist, I'm able now to talk about secular professors who are looking at things like war, saying this is what we're facing, because it appears that this is the Islamic migrant community on the whole, there will be some exceptions, does not want to integrate, and they appear to want to fight. And they're getting now elected. We've got 5 Muslim MPs in the House as members of Parliament who were elected purely on Islamic issues like Gaza. So they broke with the sort of 2 or 3 party idea. They didn't run with their traditional political home, which would be the Labour Party, the Socialist Party. The Muslims have always been attached to the Socialist Party in Britain, and they've started to run as independents on purely Islamic issues and are getting elected on that basis. That shows you that we're approaching that critical mass. Yeah. When you get towards 7%, and then what happens between 7%, 10%, or 10% and 15%, Islam tends to become more belligerent as it gains greater hold in the culture, and that's where we're in the sort of danger zone right now.
Do you fear that they are bringing in weapons, firearms?
I've no doubt that that's going on.
Yeah.
The mosques are used very often as caches, as storage centers for weapons. And this was seen within the last 18 months when there was unrest over a knife attack by a Muslim, a young Muslim immigrant on a girls' dance class, little girls at their ballet class, dance class. And there was a frenzied knife attack on these children. And the government was initially trying to cover it up and cover up the identity of the perpetrator.
Yeah.
It was found out, and then there was unrest, and there was protests outside migrant hotels and stuff, and there was some violence. Interestingly, at which point some of these Muslim communities came out of their mosques with machetes and all kinds of weapons.
Yeah.
And the dangerous thing is the fact that the police themselves, knowing this and confronting some of these crowds, just said, "Look, if you take your weapons back to your mosque and leave them there, we won't pursue any charges against you." Right. So instead of dealing with the issue, so yes, they are, and I've no doubt that firearms are involved in it. You have to remember that the mosque in the Islamic worldview, in Islam, there's only two houses. There's the house of Islam, where Islam is dominant, and there's the house of war. And the mosque is a symbol of the presence of the house of Islam, and in a context where they're minority, it's a house of war. That's the nature of the mosque. It's symbolic of that. That's why they prefer to take over churches and turn churches into mosques, because it's a symbol, a sign of their conquest of Christianity. So, the weapons are an issue. And tragically, just to finish that comment, the people that the government, the state, really clamped down on were the concerned indigenous Brits, and they were sending them to jail for tweets during that period.
Right.
If they were seen to have been passing something on social media, that was considered hateful. They sent one woman, a married lady with a child, who'd actually served in her career, migrants, who said something unguarded on social media about, saying, burn the hotels down for all I care. The people were so angry, right? She went to jail. She was sent to jail.
Unreal.
So, this is the problem. The state recognizes it's sitting on a powder keg.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's not prepared at this point to actually side with Britons.
Yeah. Oh, and this is why it's good to have firearms. You're about to find out. Who's your prime minister right now?
Two-tier Keir Starmer. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about that last night.
Yeah, he's a socialist.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
He's seen as somewhat Blairite. That is, soft socialism, sort of seen as a centrist socialist, but he's being now increasingly controlled by the hard left of his party. I have to say, that the man's a national embarrassment. He's weak. He's got the economy is tanking. Law and order is in a state of crisis. He won't grasp the nettle on any of the issues. He can't get control of our borders. And we're about to have a budget in November, which will ratchet up taxes yet again on ordinary, hardworking, middle-class people who are already footing the whole bill. So it's coming down, basically. It's a state of crisis, and this is one of the reasons for the stratospheric rise of the Reform Party in the UK. The two-party system, that quiet, tranquil, conservative Labour two-party system, is done. It's finished. It's over.
Interesting. This video is brought to you by Amtech Blades. We are very excited to be partnering with Amtech. Bill Rapier, longtime Navy SEAL, DevGuru operator, amazing brother and friend. Looking for a battle axe to carry on your person, to chop some wood? They've got you covered. Looking for a blade to carry on you every day? Also got you covered. Look at this. I got to check my mail. What do we got going on here? Oh, look how sharp that is. What is this? Oh, 5% off. You can go to amtechblades.com, put Apologia in the coupon code, get 5% off your order, and he will match that and give 5% to End Abortion Now. Again, amtechblades.com. We're grateful for them. Check them out.